Welcome to WFPC Podcasting, your local source for the heart and history of Pike County, Indiana. And now, here's your host, Randy Harris.
Welcome to WFPC Podcasting. This is a weekly look at news and information in and around Pike County. Nestled in the western rolling hills of Clay Township on the border of Gibson County is a hidden garden, a forest reserve that has brought thousands of visitors to this neighborhood for quite a few years. It is the Azalea Path Botanical Garden and Arboretum. We call it the Azalea Path. It's also the home to the curators, the founders, Beverly and Steve Knight. Good to see you both.
Thank you.
Welcome. And you have an incredible spot. How many acres is that? 35, 40?
The garden's about 36 acres.
Wow. Now we have a similar background. We're all three West Siders, and we migrated up to Pike County, crossed Pigeon Creek, still have a little mud on our feet.
Yeah.
But what inspired you to come to Pike County and create this nature preserve?
You want to start that off?
Well, I was married before to Richard Marshall, who is from this area, and Richard passed away. And then our children, Steve and I, our children dated, and that's how I ended up meeting him. My son brought him up here to Pike County, and that's how I met him after Richard passed away. What a story. And so you already had the acreage? Yes, I already had most of it.
Who is the plant lover? Who wanted to develop all this?
That would be her. She is the brains. I try to incorporate her desires, her plans. So.
And I was a retired UPS driver, so I've been in every yard in the tri-state because I was the only woman, so I didn't bid on a route. So I ran vacation routes. So I've been in everybody's yard. And so it's just that our place is just everybody's place.
And you live right there on the grounds, right? Right across the street, right across the road.
That's home.
It's a fabulous home. I mean, you can if you would do it on foot, you would just get lost in there studying nature.
We try to make it as natural looking as you can and still have it where people can safely walk and do things like that. We do something new usually every year, or he does.
What's new for 2025?
2025 has got a new pond. We cleaned out a creek area, made a little pond. We've got a bridge across it that we've still got to finish the landscaping part of it. And there's a little bit more dirt work. But that'll be our summer, planting plants all around this new bridge and pond.
It is beautiful. When did you start this? 10, 12 years ago?
Well, I don't know. We got married in, 93, and we just started planting. It just grew. People started coming by wanting to see our plants because Smith's Greenhouses was just down the road another half mile. So they were coming out to Smith's. Well, they'd pull in our place thinking this was the place, but it just developed. So we incorporated in 2007. Yeah.
So that's working on 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you've kind of got a gate fee, but not much of one.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We have a gate.
Yeah, you're right.
We charge $5 a person.
What a bargain.
Where can you go for $5 for a whole afternoon?
Or as long as you want. I mean,
how long do people stay?
A lot of times all day they'll go down to the store, Union store, and get lunch or something, or bring their lunch, which they can do, and picnic. There's picnic tables everywhere, and they can sit on the decks up there, feed the koi.
Well, we've had people spend the day. Mm-hmm. So. And we want to make it affordable for a family to go out and enjoy themselves.
We try to do something really different. Steve does every year.
She comes the idea, and I have to incorporate it.
Huh. Where do people come from? How do they know about you?
Online. We run it. Well, Jamie, her daughter runs a Facebook, Jamie, But then it was originally the Tourism Bureau in Princeton has a Azalea Path page. But it's basically, if you go on the internet and look for Azalea Path, you'll see us. But we've had people from all over the country. We've had them from Florida, from Montana, Minnesota. We've had people drive from Ohio, Pennsylvania, just because they saw it online and wanted to see what it looked like.
Wow.
And Gibson County supports us because they have the motels, that people stay in. And so
How much of that 36 acres is Gibson County and how much is Pike?
The garden is all Pike.
Okay.
And we own 26 acres in Gibson, but the garden is all in Pike.
And it is a destination. It is a place to come to.
Well, we do have a very, very expansive garden and a lot of plants. I mean, the garden probably has well in excess of 6,000 azaleas and rhododendrons. And just about every kind of tree we can find. If we don't have that tree, we try to find that tree. So
Name me some of your trees.
Oh, there's different types of chestnuts. We got different types of, we've got
weeping
Japanese,
cancers,
numerous different types of
spruces,
your Japanese maples. There's just a vast variety of all your different native trees. Quaking aspen's a bit unusual in this area, but we've got a lot of varieties of magnolias. But there's a Japanese weeping or pine tree that's got like rubber needles.
weeping cancers.
And so,
Did you know about trees before this, or you've just developed it?
no, I'm a retired electrician. I just took her lead, and we would go looking for something different every year. So,
What an asset.
And my path has always crossed plant people. It just has, like Dr. Schrader, John Migas from Michigan. It's just always, I know Buddy Lee, the guy that invented the Encore Azalea. I mean, just a lot of different plant people.
So besides azaleas, what do you have?
A lot of unusual trees.
there's a lot of daylilies, irises, viburnums. But azaleas and rhododendrons, that's our main show.
What live nature does that bring in as far as animals, birds?
Well, deer love our plants.
A lot.
We feed birds year round, so I mean the bird habitat is quite extensive, but squirrels, nobody squirrel hunts anymore, so you can sit and watch squirrels all day long, just all over the place. Of course, there's coon, and they're just all your regular woodland creatures. We've got plenty of them.
It is a nature lover's paradise.
Yeah.
It would be.
Do people fish?
We don't
We don't.
promote that. We let friends and family fish, but we don't promote fishing, no. Especially since the one pond there in front of the venue has about 200 to 300 koi in it. We don't want people catching the koi. The other lake is all right, but we don't have anything in it other than fish, but that we would allow our friends to fish.
We keep our koi in our small pond outside our house till they get big enough not to get ate when we put them in the lake,
They get pretty big, don't they?
Yeah, they can.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, oh yeah.
And we've also been contacted by numerous people in the area that are older and can't maintain their koi ponds. So we went out and rescued koi from about 5 or 6 different locations, and so we'll rescue the koi and bring them out to our lake and release them. So that's how the quantity keeps growing, because it's just something we try to help when people call. They get the word about our place and our koi, and then we get calls and we go see if we can help them out.
I bet little kids are amazed when they...
Oh, they have a field day feeding those koi. Because the decks overlook the lake, and you can just throw fish food out off the deck so that the fish all swarm right there.
They don't have to get down. Kids don't have to get down by the water. They can stand up on that
deck and
and
just...
throw it down to them.
And there they swarm.
Yeah.
You, it's a great place to visit, but you you also rent out shelters.
No, we do not rent out shelters. Now, we rent out the venue for weddings. We do quite a few weddings and receptions.
Okay.
And private parties.
I've been to a wedding there. Kelsey, that Keebler that works with me, her wedding was out there.
We do weddings and we let them get their own caterer. We don't, and we have some we'd recommend if they ask, but we let them get their own caterer. And we've never had any kind of issue out there with anything. We do the alcohol just because that way we're in control of it. And we've never had any issues. Good so far.
So when Jayla and I came out Sunday or Monday, whenever that was, and just saw you, you're just sitting there talking with friends.
Yeah,
it's about as laid back and peaceful as you can find.
Meet a lot of nice people.
Good. What are your future plans to make it grow more?
Maintain.
Well,
we'll improve within the boundaries of what we have, but we won't expand the gardens anymore because 36 acres is quite a bit to take care of now. You got the 2 lakes, you got the waterfalls, the beach. I mean, so it's just maintaining and keeping it as nice as we can possibly keep it as
now
our goal.
He's sort of fibbing because we're doing a bridge right now that we're going to put it across the creek. It's already, the bridge is built, and it'll be a new addition next year, this coming spring.
But we try to find something to improve on or add to, but we're not expanding. We're just improving within the garden, which that was within the garden. So
40 years ago, you were an electrician, you were a UPS driver. Did you ever see yourselves doing this?
No.
No, not before I started. It just happened because Smith Greenhouses was down the road, and people would come from Pike County and pass by my home, and they'd pull in my driveway and say, "Is this Smith Greenhouses?" And I'd say, "No." And then they'd say, "Can I look around?" And I'd say, "Sure, go ahead." And then I started having a little bit of damage, and I thought, well, I'll charge $1, and that's how it started.
Wow. What a story.
That's how it started.
You've got the next generation getting ready to start helping out even more.
Yeah, I do. Jimmy and Andra help do a lot of the manual work. Jamie, who's a nurse practitioner, not, works all the time away from there. She does the online answering questions, putting out fires or whatever. If somebody asks something, or, she handles all the Facebook things. And that's just how it goes. It's a family operation.
It is quite an operation. The best landmark to tell people how to get there is the Union Store.
The Union Store, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you turn on the next road, head south, and there you are.
It's it confuses people because of our address. We have a Gibson County address, with Hazleton being the town that we live in. We don't live anywhere near Hazleton. We don't live by any of the towns. So anyway, the people see that, they'll sometimes head straight to Hazleton, and then they find out they're in the wrong place.
Yeah. The Union Store, that's
your landmark.
Hope it's there forever.
You bet.
It's been there forever already, so it surely will be.
It too is a great asset for Pike County.
It is, really. It is.
And that's, that neighborhood needs that.
Yeah, and everybody wants to know if we're going to be open up no, we're not. We've got a full kitchen, and the caterers all use it, but we do not, are never going to be
we'll never prepare food.
We're never going to serve food.
You've got neighbors.
Not in my lifetime.
Your neighbors do that.
Huh?
Your neighbors can do that.
Sullivans can do that, man.
Yeah.
But like I say, each wedding party or each event, they pick their own caterer, so. And the caterers just operate through our kitchen and serve their guests, and that works out.
How many weddings do you have a year?
This year, I think we've got 15.
This summer.
This summer,
And if somebody wants to book something, they just get a hold of Jamie online and
no, Andrew does the booking.
Andrew has the number online.
She keeps the calendar, and she handles all the scheduling and talks to people about, when and how much. So Andrew DeHaven is our scheduler, and Jamie handles all the online, and we try to keep up with the work.
That is fabulous. It's amazing what you've done. What did it look like when you first moved up there?
What it did look like, well, there were no lakes. I planted azalea the day I bought the ground, and that was 1970. And I came back the next weekend, and someone had dug it up. So I said, I'll just show you. I'll plant so many you can't possibly dig it up. And so that's sort of what I did. So it was done out of vindictiveness.
You showed them.
I showed them. I planted so many. No, it was just... And then Dr. Henry Schrader, he mentioned, was a hybridizer, and he was on my route, and his boys are my age. And I was friends with Dr. Schrader and his wife and the boys for years until he passed away.
And he helped school you?
Yes, school me in azaleas. And he helped me meet people that were plant hybridizers. And
Dr. Schrader, he distributed azaleas all over the world. He was well-known hybridizer, and there's a whole group of Schrader azaleas. So he was quite well-known in the azalea world.
And you're right off of Highway 65. You're right
65.
Off of 65.
2 miles.
56 takes you to Hazleton.
Yes.
We have a Hazleton address, but we don't live near Hazleton. We live
and our mail comes
near Union.
And the mail comes out of Petersburg. The Hazleton post office closed. So go figure. Well, now the one thing we do too is we accommodate schools. We accommodate nursing homes. We don't charge for any school events. If anybody from Petersburg wants to hold anything related to the government here in Petersburg, we allow that. I mean, we don't charge for those types of functions. So private parties, yes.
We charge for it.
But any school that wants to bring a tour out, any nursing home that wants to come out, we don't charge. We help them out.
We take them around on our cart.
And we also have 2 6-passenger carts that we assist people that can't manage to walk the gardens. So we offer that free of charge. So it's just a matter of trying to help people that can't enjoy the gardens.
I bet you get those kids out there and they can spend all day out there.
Mm-hmm. The life skills class, I love them. I mean, they've been coming for years, and it's a joy to see what happens with some of those kids.
Now the ARC program has operated out there for approximately 9 years, and Stephanie Brown handles that group or that area of ARC, and she's brought kids out, like I say, for 9 years, and it's part of a development program they have for these kids to help them succeed later on in life. So she's been fantastic, and it's been really enjoyable to have the kids, and some of the kids will be there for 3 years. And
some of them come back.
Well, they come back and visit after they're out of the program, but it's a very enjoyable thing. We really like it.
Do you have other people that just come back? Your guests from out of state, do they come back every year?
Oh, yes.
Some of them do. Yes, some of them do. And they stay in, the motels in the towns locally, So
we like to think we're trying to help the community.
You are. It's a great asset for Pike County. We appreciate what you've done and the effort that you continually put in there.
Gibson and Pike both have been very good to Azalea Path. So,
what was your project a couple years ago, and go back before that? Just keep telling us different projects that your pond and bridge.
Well, we built the lake there on the west side of the property. We built that in '95. Bev kept looking at this one valley that was in that lake, and she finally persuaded me, but we put that waterfall in probably I'd say, heck, 20 years ago, I would imagine. But the waterfall has been a very big asset. Back at the Fairy Garden, her son, Jimmy, we built that stone arch. And then a good friend of mine out there at Onyet's, Dave Dawson, he helped create the design and build the big 8-foot swing that everybody sits in with all the flowers on it. So that was a good start to the Fairy Garden area.
And to tell a funny story, I told him it has to hold 300-pounders, and he laughed at me. And I said, I'm serious. It has to hold 300-pounders. Because you'd be surprised sometimes the weight of the people.
We are getting bigger and bigger.
Bigger, yes. And so it does hold a lot of weight.
So that 8-foot swing project ended up being a total new structure with a roof over it and enough structure to carry a very large swing and whatever sets on it.
David Dawson can figure it out, can't he?
He can. The Schrader Garden was developed a few years ago. We have a stone there for Dr. Schrader and tell him about Dr. Schrader. So we dedicated that section of the garden we call that the Schrader Garden. And then our good friend up in Michigan, John Migas, we've got a Migas Garden. Now, Olive Cardinal was a good friend of Beverly's. And so where the bridge is, we're going to be calling that the Cardinal Garden. So we just kind of section things off. And then we also have our own cemetery on the property.
Really?
No, it's a family cemetery.
That was pre-existing?
No, we've got all the legalities taken care of, so we have our family cemetery on the property.
That's
So
interesting.
I don't think I'm leaving that property.
It's a incredible effort that you've put into that, and we sure appreciate it.
It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun too. I mean, it's rewarding. The people I see is very rewarding. I mean, I look forward to seeing them as much as anything, seeing the bloom. The people come every year. I mean, the same people come back lots of times, and it's just rewarding.
Best bloom time for azaleas is April?
Mid-April, May,
Mid-April to the first part of May.
or June.
You can't go wrong third week of April.
How many azaleas do you think you have out there? Have you counted them?
Over 6,000.
Wow. Started with one that was stolen.
Stolen. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bev and I got married in '93, and I haven't stopped digging holes since.
Put your foot in those every now and then, don't you?
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, but we enjoy it. We'd have to.
Yeah. It's a labor of love.
It is. It is. You couldn't work that hard every day if you didn't love it. You couldn't, because every day something's going on. Tree falls on something, somebody wants to come when you're not open, and they're only in town for this little short period of time, and
You open the gate.
we open the gate and let them in. It's that kind of a place, and they know it. So
Yeah. If you got a ox in the well, you get it out.
yeah. So anyhow, I don't. What do we have a big project planned for? Well, the bridge.
Yeah, we'll spend the summer landscaping that. So.
Do you have any idea what you'll do in the future? Do you have anything working on up here that you'd like to see done?
I don't do that. That's Bev and the kids. They're the ones come up with the ideas.
You just
So I
implement them.
just figure out how to get it done.
He's the manual laborer.
He's the electrician.
Just like this last winter, I thought I was going to take it easy last winter. Well, no, I built a bridge.
Fabulous.
That's what he did during the winter, is built the bridge, and so we just now have to get it in place.
Yeah, we got it set.
So that's
I think James has got my son Jimmy. He got an idea. He wants to build another brick structure, and we won't go into what it is. I'll just have to wait and see what he comes up with. But yeah, we'll keep improving, adding.
He's a talented mason.
He is.
Yeah.
That's not his career right now, but it was, and he still does quite a good job.
Are the grandkids getting involved?
No, not yet. I'm sure they will down the road.
And we have the life skills class, that out there all the time. And most of the kids that we've had out there, they've been able to find like really good jobs for, because they learn how to follow instructions and they know how to get dirty, and they, so they come out for the schools bring them out. Gibson County is probably better about it than Pike, quite frankly. That's between you and me,
right.
but they do.
Well, I think sometimes it's the amount of money. I mean, as far as transporting kids and policies and what have you. But the art class, that operates strictly through the summer months.
And that's GCARC. Does PCARC participate in that as well?
Yeah. Yep.
Not a lot. I mean, at times there's things they do, but not.
See, we've got kids there the last 2 years that are from the Pike County area. So, actually, 3 of the kids that have operated there in the last 2 years are from Pike County.
Do you have neighboring counties like Gibson, Davies, Vanderburgh? Do they?
Vanderburgh, I don't notice.
Not a lot from Vanderburgh, but
not from Vanderburgh.
Gibson County does contribute a lot. Gibson County Tourism does my brochures, and does some of the advertising on the highway. You see does some of that, and so.
But your people stay in their hotels?
And they stay in their hotels.
They work up a package, and they'll give free passes to the people that come through the bloom season, and that's free entry into Azalea Path. So they promote it that way. So it works out for the whole community, both counties.
Great.
Because all this traffic, it has to pass through here too.
Through this town, most of them.
We appreciate you being there.
And that way they, but you don't have a lot of motels here, and it's things that they benefit from, but the food, and things. And
a few years ago, we had some little old women pulled in behind the house on a mulch path and parked right in behind the house in the pine grove, and there's a picnic table there, so they were going to picnic. And now, after all that rain we had this year, a lady got back in the fairy garden, and she goes back past the sign that says, "No motorized vehicles past this point." But then she's going to drive up toward that arch. We just had about 4 or 5 inches of rain, but she plowed that up, so.
And you got her out.
Yeah. And then one year, a guy somehow or another ended up off the road there going back past the main entrance, got down in that low area. He got hung up. I mean, why are you driving down through there? You'd be surprised where people drive.
And you've got plenty of parking.
Oh,
yeah,
yes. Yeah.
We have quite a bit of parking. We could make more back under the power line if we ever had to, because there's a power line that runs through the back of the property all the way down. Right. You can't hardly see it unless you go back there, and but we could use it for parking if we had to.
When you bought this in 1970, was it a forest reserve, or did you create that?
We did that.
What was it in 1970? Was it more of a field or just a woods, or?
Well, it was just woods, kind of. The guy that I bought it from, James Willis was a teacher, so he had his students plant stuff over the years, from the state, like I did later on. But the tree, a lot of the trees were there, but all the unusual trees that are there, I've purchased. So, and then I I'm a retired UPS driver. I think I told you that. So I've been in every yard. And when I bought the ground, like I said, these little ladies would say, take us the start of this. I brought it from Germany, or my mother did, or so and so, just plants like that. And that's how I ended up being crazy about plants, and met Dr. Schrader and his family, and just other plant people.
Grew from there.
We had a lady from Illinois about 3 years ago, brought us some longleaf magnolias. No, but people, they'll come there, and if they're plant lovers, they'll see something that we don't have in our yard that they do, and a lot of times they'll share. So that works out well.
Oh my! And they bring them from all over.
Yeah, and they'll say you need it, and we keep it. Make sure it doesn't have disease, for so long before we put it out in the yard, and put it out in the yard.
And you have developed your knowledge.
Yeah, as I've
over 50 years.
Yeah, over time.
Lot to learn. And you're still learning, I bet.
Oh yeah, a lot.
Look what you got into.
Little did I know.
He always says, what I said I do, I know what I do means. But anyhow, we work pretty hard.
How many people will you have on a, what's your busy day? Is that like first weekend in April, or?
Your busiest time is probably from your third week of April to Mother's Day. That's your main busy time as far as touring the gardens.
How many people come in during that time?
I couldn't begin to tell you. I don't keep track of the numbers that way, but a lot.
More than what people think, probably, to Pike County.
Mm-hmm.
Pike County needs a few more motels or hotels.
Right.
A nice one.
Right.
Because a lot of them go to Princeton, to stay. So, I don't...
Maybe you're going to inspire an entrepreneur out there to build one.
Yeah. They do need...
more places for people to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Your hours. When do you open that gate?
Well,
7.
Technically we open up April 1st, and then we operate on Central Time Zone because it's just better for...
More population.
Yes, and anyway, our hours are 8 to 7. Now, June 1st, we say we're not open as a daily basis, but by chance or by call. But basically, we're open pretty well all the way up until October 31st. Now, October 31st, we're pretty well shut down unless you have a rental. So, but as far as people just passing through, we're actually closed.
Well,
in October.
By
we'll
chance.
Close in October.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing to do there during the winter. Plus, it's hunting season, and you don't really need people around when there's hunters out in the woods.
It is a great asset for our community, and we sure appreciate all of your efforts. And you're just continuing to grow, and we're glad that James and Andrew and Jamie are all involved, helping it grow and continue.
They do. They'll inherit it. So.
But you'll still be there.
Huh?
You'll still be there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hope.
Okay. Well, Steve, Beverly Knight, anything else we need to add?
I think we've covered it.
I think we covered it pretty good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we want to thank you for joining us for this program of WFPC Podcasting. This program is brought to you by Harris Real Estate and Petersburg Car Wash. Please like the podcast, share with your friends so more people can hear about this project. You may find WFPC Podcasting on our website, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you listen to your favorite media. Join us next week. Our guest is Clint Swisher of the Old Bend Adventure and Aqua Park. He, like the Knights, has a vision of great things for Pike County. Thank you. and we'll see you next week.
Welcome to WFPC Podcasting, your local source for the heart and history of Pike County, Indiana. From back roads to town centers, we bring you the voices, stories, and news that shape our community. Join us on this journey through the past, present, and future of Pike County, Indiana. Tune in next week for the next episode of WFPC Podcasting.